On the news, Senate President Godswill Akpabio emphasizes need for unity, collaboration among countries in Africa. Lawmaker gives insight on capital expenditure and funding in Nigeria's budget, implications for economic growth and development. New Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly appoints principal officers. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Stella Inameti. The news begins as the President of the Nigerian Senate, Godswill Akpabio, emphasizes the need for unity and collaboration among countries in Africa to foster innovation and enhance security. Addressing the 2025 First Ordinary Session of the National Assembly of Côte d'Ivoire in Abuja, Akpabio also called for the strengthening of bilateral ties between Nigeria and the West African country. He also urged the country to ensure fairness in its upcoming elections.
J'aimerais dire que je viens d'un pays de seulement 250 millions d'habitants, approche des prochaines élections, et je vous invite à répondre présent. Faites que vos réformes électorales traduisent la transparence.
Akpabio applauded President Alassane Ouattara and the Speaker of the Ivorian Assembly, Adama Baktogo, for their leadership, which symbolizes reconciliation and unity. In a related development, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has urged the government of United Kingdom to support Nigeria's fight against corruption. He stated this in London at an event tagged UK-Nigeria Collaboration, a parliamentary strategic dialogue, which attracted Deputy Leader of the British House of Lords, Lord Collins, among other members of Parliament from Nigeria and UK. Kalu emphasized the importance of collaboration between the two countries in tackling corruption amongst other challenges. He commended the diplomatic ties between Nigeria and the United Kingdom, highlighting the potential for deepened economic relationships, referencing the partnership between Nigeria and the UK as a testament to shared values and mutual interest. Kalu added that by deepening collaboration across these sectors, both countries will unlock the opportunities for sustainable growth and development. As Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review, the Deputy Speaker also sought the support of UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office in enhancing Nigeria's constitution review process. Meanwhile, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, SAN, at the 2025 Budget Defense Interaction, told the National Assembly's Joint Committee that the ministry's proposal of 71 billion naira would prioritize capital projects. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali has details on this and other budget defense sessions with heads of ministries, departments and agencies of the Nigerian government.
Among projects listed by the minister captured in the budget of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Management is the second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The minister told the Joint Committee that the earlier contract awarded for the work was cancelled due to variations he described as outrageous.
When we don't have a 100% release, the projects remain like that. They come back for variation, most of the contractors, and then it is penny-wise, pound-foolish for us as federal government not to quickly fund these projects and complete them. Because at the end of the day, we'll now end up spending 4 times more.
They should give us the passenger their respect, their honor. This is our country. It's not about making money for them alone.
At another session, the Joint Committee on Local and Foreign Debt engaged the Ministry of Finance and the Debt Management Office.
We own most of Nigeria's public debt, okay? So it's on our website, but it's 142 trillion naira as at September.
The National Assembly is, however, optimistic about Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio in 2025.
The debt ratio to GDP is about 55%. That is not bad. What explained the increase from 40% to 55% is the fact, again, that we don't have the cash. Now, Tinubu administration has done very well in the last 18 months. It has gone down to about 65%.
Chief medical directors of teaching hospitals in the country at the budget sitting with the House Committee on Health Institutions want federal government to take measures towards addressing brain drain in the sector.
Resignation almost every day. And I hope that
we have problems. So.
In the next 1 or 2 years, we are not going to have all our hospitals empty. We need to do something about remuneration of all the healthcare workers. Otherwise, government is putting a lot of money in infrastructure, and we are going to have empty hospitals.
I think so. The reality is that you must extract the proposal made by Mr. President as it affects your medical center.
Meanwhile, standing committees of the Senate have commenced submission of reports to the Appropriations Committee as legislative work continues on the 2025 budget.
The House of Representatives Committee on Navy says it is in favor of an upward review of the budgetary allocations to the Nigerian Navy, considering its strategic role in protection of the nation's maritime environment and revenues. At a budget defense session with the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, lawmakers, however, served notice of robust oversight of naval platforms in the country to ensure judicious use of budgetary allocations.
Based on our estimate, what we actually require to even maintain the level of presence that we have at sea in terms of procurement of AGO and other petroleum, oil and lubricants is about 81 billion. And of course, this is even higher than the whole of our overhead cost. So we are requesting if the committee can intervene in this area to see how we can bring up this overhead. Because when you have platforms and you have ships and you have personnel and you do not have the enablers, you don't have fuel, then it's as good as not having those platforms.
We have seen platforms that survive in water, 24 hours being run by diesel. We know, as put together by the Chief of the Naval Staff, the overheads of the Nigerian Navy need to be adjusted upward to ensure that all those valuable assets that are being purchased for the economic survival of this country really survive without any suffocation.
At another budget defense session involving agencies under the Office of the National Security Advisor, members of the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence pointed out that intelligence gathering is a critical component of the security sector, which requires increased funding.
The capital releases to the Department of State Services and NIA are insufficient to motivate these agencies to work optimally in order to deliver on their critical mandates.
In 2025, we propose to focus on key areas such as enhanced coordination and collaboration among the securities in order to strengthen partnership with other agencies to foster a more cohesive and responsive security architecture.
Earlier, National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide interacted with the Senate Committee Chairman on Employment, Labour and Productivity, Senator Diket Plang, who gave insight on the topic, capital expenditure and funding in Nigeria's budget, implications for economic growth and development. Senator Plang is also a member of the Senate Committee on Appropriations and Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs. Let's hear from him.
It's always a very courageous step taken by the President. His policies ignites courage, determination, and focus. He is so ingenuine in terms of dreams. So the budget looks huge. The capital expenditure in the budget looks huge. And you also find out that the personal cost is also huge. But we understand why the personnel cost will have to be huge, because this government is able to settle with workers and has agreed on a minimum wage, which they've agreed to pay beginning from April. And therefore, the increment in the personality cost indicates the readiness of this government to ensure that the minimum wage is paid. Now, you also look at the capital expenditure, you will discover that you have about 4 trillion going for security and defense. And you have about 4.02 trillion going for infrastructural development. You have about 3-point-something billion going to education. You have about 2-point-something trillion going for health. You will all know as Nigerians, in the infrastructural development, you will find more on works and public works, which means that if a lot of money is put into construction, it now implies that there will be a high capital flow. Money will flow in the hands of Nigerians, because if you are executing a road, or you are going into constructions, and it is in trillions, you all know that there will be money will circulate, and the economic status of a country and the capital what do you call it? GDP of a country depends on how money goes around, flows around. And I assure you that you'll have a lot of Nigerians engaged in labor, a lot of Nigerians engaged in supply, cement, sand, roads, and it's all over. That is to indicate that it will be an economically activity period for Nigerians. So the high level of infrastructural expenditure ahead, it's a signal. There's going to be an economically active season for Nigerians. And you all also know that they said anybody who is not occupied, you can easily become a devil's dog workshop. Well, most of our youth to be engaged, it will take people away from criminality. And you all know the implication of capital flow. It now means that every family will be able to attend to the needs of the family. Is it health? Is it education? Parents, security. Parents will have something to ensure that the family is moving. So the exponential impact of infrastructural development in a nation is exponential. It's exponential. You cannot quantify. There's no barometer for you to measure it. I want to cite an example of the frantic and brave steps of the president. You have the legacy projects, which are unprecedented. You have the coastal highways, Lagos, Calabar, to the eastern part, getting back to North Central, to Abuja. And you have also, the president graciously also added the Akwanga, Jos, Gombe Road as one of the legacy, the number 4th legacy project of Mr. President, of which we were told designs have been made. And you have the Badagry, that's Lagos southwest to northwestern part of this country, cutting across in trillions of naira. I believe that we've moved the economy of this country into trillions of dollars. We're moving into $1 trillion country. For me, I just want to assure you that the infrastructural thinking of this government is positive to this country. And again, I also would like to use this moment to commend the infrastructural development of this government. If you take Abuja and you see what Wike is doing in Abuja, I want to assure you that it is a great positive move by this administration in giving an international image to the capital of our nation. And Nigeria is considered as the big brother of Africa. We are now attaining the status of a nation that seems to be the hope of the black world. And this, you would know, the connectivity as a result of infrastructure development improves security. Access, road access, infrastructural access, it narrows the gap of economy, it narrows the gap of agriculture, it narrows education. So what am I saying? It's a big plus for us to have this budget. Yeah, some people will think, okay, Nigeria deserves is proposing to spend about 49.92 trillion. That's increased with about 22.2 trillion to previous budget. Where are we going to get the money? According to the president, we'll have a deficit of about 13 trillion. And the president says 13 trillion will be derived from loans and sales of assets. And there's no nation, you run a nation, even America, no nation does not go for loan. But where do you take the loan for? Futuristic projects that will give Nigerians a great future. So for me, the committees appear before us. You see the zeal in each committee desiring to go into infrastructural development by way of having an improved capital appropriation, increased capital appropriation, because the capital appropriation given to MDAs, they are the variable for activity, economic activity and development of each of the MDAs.
And that's all we can take on the interview segment of the news. We now take some messages. The news continues with reports from the State Houses of Assembly. Do stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're watching NTA Parliamentary News, reaching you from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. You can now follow us on the platforms showing on the screen for more updates. Moving on, as part of efforts to reorganize and ensure smooth running of the legislative processes, the newly elected first female Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, has appointed principal officers to coordinate activities of the Assembly. Musa Toliat reports that the Speaker also constituted a selection committee that will ensure appointments into standing committees to oversee the activities of ministries, departments and agencies of government.
The need to have a sustainable structure to move the assembly forward necessitated the appointment of new principal officers.
I hereby announce that Honorable Temitope Adewale Adedeji as the new majority leader of the 10th Assembly. Honorable Sonny Ganiu Okonlawon, member representing Koshofe, to also take the chair as the deputy whip. Honorable David Setonji should also take the chair as the chief whip of the 10th Assembly. Honorable Richard Adedamola Kasumu to take the chair as the deputy majority leader. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Speaker Mojisola Miranda thereafter constituted a 6-man selection committee that will ensure new standing committees are established with relevant appointments to oversee their activities. The selection committee is headed by the Speaker, while Deputy Speaker Fatai Mojid, Majority Leader Temitope Adewale, Chief Whip David Setonji, Bola Onyishao of Etiosa Constituency 2 and Lawal Musbau of Apapa Constituency 2 will serve as members. The acting clerk, Abubakar Taiwo Otun, is to serve as secretary of the committee. The plenary provided a platform for the speaker to reaffirm commitments to good working relationship with other arms of government to deliver good governance in the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
In Calabar, the Cross River State Governor, Basio II, says his administration is committed to operating an inclusive government while boosting the morale and productivity of the workforce, including the state legislature, for quality service delivery. This was at the inauguration of the Speaker's Lodge in Calabar. The report.
Good accommodation is set to promote a healthy and safe environment, which impacts positively on the mental, physical, and general well-being of individuals. In line with this, Governor Tu, who is passionate about the welfare of lawmakers, has upgraded the moribund and dilapidated Speaker's Lodge, providing a befitting accommodation for the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly. He promises to extend the gesture to other principal officers of the state's legislature.
The relationship between the executive and, of course, the parliament has been quite cordial. Not that they do not raise issues, they raise issues, we all sit down, and, of course, superior reasoning prevails. That is why our state is where it is today. This is the sign of greater things to come. And one of those things is to make sure we boost the morale of those who will increase their productivity and make us proud.
Overwhelmed with joy, Speaker of the Cross River State's House of Assembly, Elvet Ayambem, says the conducive environment will boost his capacity and enable him serve the people better.
You know, the environment you wake from at first gives you a mental picture of how your day is going to look like.
In the same vein, the Speaker also inaugurated the renovated Deputy Speaker's Lodge, handing over the keys to him. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
As part of its moves to amend the Kano State Urban Beautification and Landscaping Agency Bill 2024, the Kano State House of Assembly has considered and approved the report of the Committee on Lands and Physical Planning on the proposed amendment. Samira Shira reports on this and other engagements of the lawmakers.
Presenting the findings of the committee, Representative Tukur Muhammad, who stood in for the chairman, suggested development of new gardens and parks where necessary and modify the law to align with global environmental standards, which will attract investors and reduce prevalence of litigation related to urban landscaping and beautification issues.
That the House should approve the incorporation and modification of specific section of the proposed bill based on professional input received from relevant stakeholders.
It's supposed to be the urban and rural areas of Kano State. So that system should be deleted and areas be inserted there.
Another development, the House has also considered the recommittal of the Kano State Center for Disease Control Bill 2023. On motions, Representative Murtala Muhammad Kadagi called on the state government to construct a road linking some parts of his constituency, which was adopted. Kano State Water Users Association Bill 2025, Kano State Physical Planning and Development Bill 2025, Kano State Signage and Advertisement Bill 2025 were all read for the first time on the floor of the hallowed chamber. The House will reconvene on Monday, the 27th of January 2025. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Haris Ishara, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Kebbi State House of Assembly has taken a step towards strengthening laws against violence by passing a bill titled Kebbi State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. Jafar Ilo reports that the House Committee on Justice and Judiciary thoroughly scrutinized the bill. The report.
After a thorough scrutiny observation by the House Committee on Justice and Judiciary, the bill to amend the Kebbi State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law number 011 of 2022 was passed.
A bill for a law to amend prohibition law number 011 of 2022 to eliminate violence in private and public life, prohibit all forms of violence, and to provide maximum protection, effective remedies for punishment of offenders and related matters is hereby given terminating and passed into law.
This development demonstrates the state's commitment to addressing violence and promoting a culture of peace and respect for human rights. The Chairman House Committee on Justice and Judiciary, Barrister Bakar Farouk, add more light on the law.
Hardly you see a law that encompasses procedural and substantive law, but this one is so explicit about that, and it provides adequate punishment for the offenders, especially for those creating a nuisance, taking people to hostage, and using some chemical weapons or chemical substances. All those things were not covered before, but now they are very well covered and they were explicitly mentioned in the law.
The passage of the law is a major milestone in the fight against violence in Kebbi State. It also demonstrates the state's commitment to promoting a culture of peace, respect for human rights, and the protection of its citizens. In Kebbi, Jafar Isobilo, NTA News.
This is where we draw the curtain on our news for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on the platform scrolling on your screen. Thanks for watching. Once again, I am Stella Inamiti. Bye for now.